One. Hello and welcome to the Drop Bag Podcast with Kelly and Megan. Um, I'm really excited to be here today because I haven't talked to Megan in a minute and she has a lot going on in her life. So I just asked her before we jumped on how she's doing, and there was like a deep breath. So, Megan, why don't you tell us, catch us up a little bit? What's going on that has
Oh
you
my
running around the globe,
running
sprinting?
around. Okay, so I think last time we spoke, I was getting ready to do the Backland, which I did, and it was awesome. Learned a lot. Um,
And that's what we're talking about today.
yeah,
So we are gonna deep dive into there.
yeah,
Yes.
learned
Okay.
a lot. It
Conti
was very fun. Very cool. And then yeah, so I did that. That was early December. And I mean, it's been a minute since we've talked. You're right. Um, And since then, it's just been a whirlwind, and just, like, personal life stuff, like getting sick, having, like, the flu and bronchitis for, like, 3 weeks, not running, um, learning that I'm moving across the country to Spokane, Washington, which I'm like,
surprise!
I was so so from Texas to Washington State, which is really cool, but really nerve-wracking, everything's happening very fast, yeah, so I'm just kinda, like, trying to get my life together. It feels like every day is, like, a new adventure between trying to sell a house, trying to buy a house, um, just doing all of the things. So, it's been very it's so much, it's, like, a lot of stress and anxiety, but, like, a good kind because it's for, like, a really cool thing. So, I just kinda keep reminding myself of that just to, I'm, like, blessed to be stressed because we get to do this. So, um
I like that. Blessed to be
yes,
stressed.
blessed to be stressed. It could be, like, stress for a really awful reason, but, yeah,
Right.
so that's my exciting news. We're going to Washington, but
Okay, and you have, found a house there and
yeah?
you know your neighborhood, you know kind of the general area you'll be in and
Yeah, so we just did that a couple days ago, this past weekend. We had to move up our trip because again, we were very blessed to have put our house here on the market and have it sell. We got offers, a lot of offers, very fast. So we had to kind of shut the house sale down and it went very fast from there. So I mean, again, blessed, but I wasn't expecting the house to sell in like a day or two. So so it just kinda sped the process up even more. So we had to push up our trip to Washington. So we just did it this past weekend as opposed to, like, 2 or 3 weeks from now. And, so it'll probably all just happen even faster than what we thought it was going to be. So, but again, it's, like, really thankful to have gotten out there. We saw, 25 houses in, one day. So,
oh
really
my gosh, that's terrifying.
So it was a lot, but we did it when we came here to Texas. We did the same thing. We kind of found out we were coming here and then, had one day to see it all, and,
Oh my goodness,
luckily we found something.
overwhelming.
So, yeah, so we found it, and so we know where we're gonna be now. We're just kinda waiting for all the pieces to fall into place now, and then, I mean, I'm gonna say in, like, 3 to 4 weeks, we'll be out there.
Oh my goodness, that is a whirlwind.
Mhm. It's a lot.
Whirlwind, wow.
It's a lot, but very exciting. Yeah, and cool for very excited for the different adventures we'll have out there. There's trails everywhere. Yeah, like, you see mountains in the distance. It's like you're close to, like, everything.
Oh my goodness.
We're like a 3-hour drive to Montana mountains. We're like a 3-hour drive to Cascades to, like, up in Canada. So, it's very, very cool. It's a cool area.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to, okay, here's what I keep wanting to do, and I've been chipping away at it in Texas at
Mhm.
least, but I feel like if you're by a mountain range, make it your baby, and, just explore it and do all the trails on it or just, I don't know, I feel like I've lived in places I mean, I grew up in Idaho,
Mhm.
and I didn't make it my baby enough. Like, I
Mm,
didn't own where I lived.
yeah.
And again, so I feel like racing here in Texas has helped me slowly do that. Just like racing in different places around the state makes me
Mhm,
feel like, okay, like I know these different towns and I know the history and I know
mhm.
where the trail is and I know why the trail's there. And just so
Yeah,
that's what I want
and
for you.
it will
I want
take
you to
me
go
a
make
long time. Yeah, right? And there's so many, so it's like it it's going to it's not the kind of thing where, like, you're gonna only have a couple trails and then you, like, just, like, stick to those. It could literally be, like, picking a new one every weekend for a very long time. And then
years,
even yeah, and then even
years
Idaho is right there
in
next to us.
projecting these things.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
so
Yeah.
very, very
Okay, here's what I think. I think that your house sold so quickly because they saw your gym and they were like, "Sweet, we're in."
Probably. They're like, "Look at this," because we made the garage it's an attached garage. We kind of made it an extension of the house, so it's, like, really pleasant to be in. We, like, redid the flooring, we painted the wall, so it's, like, a very pleasant atmosphere, and then we made it into, like, a gym, so then people were probably like, "That's cool." And then we had,
Yeah.
like, a we made a pull-up bar outside in the backyard. We, like, cemented, like,
Uh,
posts in, have a pull so I'm pretty sure somebody saw this house and was like, "Yeah, these people are cool."
seriously, like, if I saw that house, I'd be like, "Sold."
They're like, "Yeah, right, right,
I was like, "I
sold."
will take your gym and your pull-up bar."
Yeah. Yep. So,
Oh my
yeah, but they're not getting the
goodness.
gym, so that's coming with me.
No, no, no. Yeah. But
But
they know, like,
mhm.
they can see the vision,
Yeah,
which is helpful
yeah,
when you're moving.
yeah.
So,
So, yeah, so as you can see behind me, it's like there's, like this room is, like, empty. I'm in an empty room right now other than my like, the house is, like, getting cleared out and stuff, so but
yeah.
exciting.
Oh,
But
yes.
yes. But
But
I
blessed to be stressed. I love it.
exactly, exactly. And but there hasn't been, like, much running. Like, I have, like, 0 exciting running things going on. I because I was sick for so
Okay.
long, and then I wasn't running.
Well, yeah, so I wanna talk through this because, like, you came off a big race, and so, like, we'll go back to the race and kinda get you
Yeah.
to now
Yeah.
as well, because that was, like personal life stuff obviously
Mhm.
can just really, throw its own challenges at you, but
Mhm.
you also had your race and stuff. So,
Yeah.
before we get there, let's do drop bag. It's okay if
Okay.
you don't have one, if you haven't been running.
I have not been running.
I'll think about
Yeah, so I have one for the
or just, like,
race.
don't have like okay, yeah,
Yeah, so I
perfect.
I had
Share
this,
away.
the race was in early December, here in Texas in Gordonville, which is, like, north of Dallas up by, the border, and so the weather was, like, pretty crummy that day as it like, I think it typically is for that race weekend. I think it's, like, a typically crummy weather weekend, and so it was.
Um,
And so it was, like, a bit cold and chilly and, misty, like, misty rain and it wasn't raining, but it was like that, like, you foggy, misty stuff, and so on top of the cold, like, it wasn't very pleasant. So I had brought 2, like, lightweight rain jackets with me, and so up until this point, I never really thought about, like, different companies' rain jackets, like, being different or, like, feeling different running.
right.
So, I was like, "Oh, it's just, like, a really lightweight rain jacket," and so the first one I had on was from, Oiselle, that company, and it was, like, a light rain jacket, and it was, the material in it I got warm underneath it, after, like, a mile of running. So, when I was wearing that jacket, we'd, like, take off running, and I wear it and I would be freezing at the start line, like, freezing, wearing gloves, like, the jacket, everything, like, shaking because 'cause I'm so cold. Then we would start running, and, after a mile, like, at a mile, you'd feel the
Mm.
warmth. And then I would take it off. I had, like, a t-shirt and, sleeves underneath it. Then I would take off the jacket, like, rumple it up and put it in my belt because my belt has, like, the elastic loops. And so it was really good, like, it was an awesome jacket, kept me warm, obviously, because I was getting hot, and kept me dry, and, but turns out that one of my loops, the jacket fell out of my belt somewhere, and I had no idea. I thought that, like, if something fell out of my belt, I would know, but I didn't. So
Well, or you'd see it
well, I
again
would see it.
and
No,
you're
so I did. So somebody found it,
Oh,
picked
okay.
it up, brought it out to, like, the section where you exit the trail and you come onto the road for the rest of the way. There's a cone. There was, like, an orange cone there, and they hung it on the orange cone for me.
Oh, nice.
But I didn't know, so I got back to my little tent, I'm doing my thing, and I went to go put my jacket back on because the second I walked into the tent, I would, like, put all the layers on because I get so cold when I stop running, and so I would put, like, all of these layers, this giant jacket on, and I would reach for my jacket and it was gone. So I was like, "Oh, so I was like, "Thank God I have another jacket." So the second jacket, which is my actual drop bag item, it's a Nathan jacket, but it's like a lightweight, rain jacket, but the material is different. This rain jacket I could put on, it would keep me warm, but I wouldn't get hot. Like, I could keep that jacket on for the rest of the time and not have to take it off because I wanna say it's like a breathability thing, maybe? I don't know,
Yeah, probably.
but it just, like, it was a different fabric, and it was wonderful. Like, after I put this on and started running, I was expecting to get hot again and have to, like, take it off, and I didn't. It was, like, it kept me the perfect temperature, and I didn't have to take it off. It kept me dry.
That's
It
invaluable,
was
like, to feel like you can, because like, all that taking on and off is
Mhm.
and then you know, whatever, you wind up losing something along the way, of course, too.
Yeah.
So
It was the best it was I mean, like, the Oiselle jacket is good too. I think it just needs to be used in a different way. Maybe a little bit
mm,
colder weather if it's actually raining
mm,
as opposed to just,
yeah,
like, misty stuff, but the Nathan one, it was just, like, a more breathable, like, fabric, and it was wonderful, and I hadn't worn it before. That
uh-huh,
was my first time using it. So,
okay.
it was a nice surprise. Like, after I put that on, I was like, "Man, I'm gonna keep this one on from now on." So then I found my old
That's cool.
jacket, like, put that one back, brought that one back to the tent with me, and then just kept wearing the Nathan one. So
Very okay, you have to, like, right now on your phone, just
yeah,
text me the link so I
I
know.
will.
Because I do have a Nathan's jacket
Mhm.
that I like, but I don't know if it's that one, but it's
Mm,
100% like, also just how cold it is outside, like, do you
mm,
need the warmth to stay in,
mhm,
or do you want, like,
mhm.
it's so like
It's so
and
picky, yeah.
in these situations, like, you want to be comfortable,
Mhm,
so having the right gear is so important
mhm.
because it saves you from, like, this taking on and off situation, or you just are comfortable and you don't have to do anything, like, geez, and that's why we wind up paying all this money for all this gear
For
because
all
it's
this ex
so fantastic
Yeah.
to be comfortable when you're doing really hard
Yeah, and
things.
one brand could be very, very different from a next, and it's like they're both classified as, like, light rain jackets or, like, lightweight rain jackets, and they both are, and they both are. They're both are
Mhm.
ve and it's like but they were so different feeling, and, so it was really cool,
Which
and
is why a lot of
Hmm?
go ahead.
No, it's okay, I was gonna text it I was like, "Oh, man, I have to text
Oh,
it to
yes,
her."
text
But
me.
it also had all the
Go
reflecting stuff on it, so it had all these little, like, reflector, they were, like, little dotted designs. I had no idea. I just thought they were, like, all over the place, and it turned out they were in a zebra pattern. So I didn't even know it until I saw
um,
pictures of myself that the race, like, put out, and it's me because there was only a couple people left, and I was, like, the only female, like, left standing, and I was like, "That's what my jacket looks like?" And it was, like, all these, like, zebra prints all and I was like, "That's so cool." Had no idea
uh,
until I
yeah, which is funny, like, zebra by
they were like,
night.
yeah, zebra. It was really cool. So
No, that's super cool, and I think, yeah, I wind up reading and this is maybe why sometimes we talked about a couple recordings ago that I, like, will get a full cart of something and then, like, walk away or,
Mhm.
like, wind up buying nothing when I actually need something because I'll get into the comments, or, like, the ratings, and so you kinda get into, like, the details of the gear, and that can be a little bit overwhelming too, so but also very helpful because, again, like, there might have been a comment somebody who had made that's like, "Oh, this one's great for this weather and these conditions. This one's better for this or that." So I do think kind of doing some research on some of those products is really helpful. What's better is to have a friend who has both, who tells you which one to buy. Megan, yeah, thanks, Megan.
Yeah, we influence each other.
Or,
That's
like,
what matters.
that's kind of the beauty of, like, the running community or, like, being in a running group. You can just, like, bounce products off of
Mhm.
each other a little bit
Yeah,
and
and so you
kind of
know if
find
it works, like or it works for
yeah.
some people because sometimes it's hard when you read reviews and things, you're like, "I don't" they're so sporadic. You'll read one that's like, "Oh, this was fantastic," and then you'll read another like, "This was awful," and then you're like, "Ah, I'm so confused. I don't know if I should, like, spend my money to get this." But then when you have people that, like, you know and trust and you're like, "Oh, no, that was good," then
Right.
you're like, "Okay, I'll jump."
You Megan, you are a lot like me. Like you're kind of my same size, kind of the same build,
Mhm,
and so it's like, okay, if something worked great for Megan, it's
mm,
probably worth trying for me. So anyway, perks of
yeah,
listening to podcasts and having friends and running in groups.
it's very
But yeah, I wanna know, like, those
mhm.
jackets especially just because I have a Nathan jacket, so I'd like to compare
Oh, okay.
compare what you got to what I have. Compare notes on that. I did wanna ask you,
Mhm,
because I told you to buy the pocket in the back of the bra
mhm,
on our last when we talked about that because you hadn't tried it,
yeah.
and in the meantime, I have bought 2 more.
Have you?
So, I didn't know if you'd splurged on any yet.
I didn't splurge on it. I think mostly because the weather's, like, cold and kinda chilly here now, and so, like, my need for that is over because now I'm, like, wearing pants again running or, like so I just and I also haven't been running since the race, really. I think I ran a handful of times. So, um, yeah, so I haven't splurged yet, but I will. I mean,
Yes.
maybe not that I'm going to Spokane, maybe not until the summertime, but for the summer,
You know,
I will.
yes, I think, like, we talked about, like, I don't love wearing my phone or anything on my
Yeah.
legs, and do like it's a lot more comfortable to wear a vest right now, especially on a long run, but
Mhm.
it's so easy, even for my short runs, I just slide my
Got it.
phone right and back, and
Yeah.
it makes it easy if I'm wearing shorts that don't have pockets. If I am wearing shorts that do have pockets, I'm probably not putting my phone in there either because I
Mhm.
don't like that. But then you can just wear whatever shirt, and it's just
Whatever you
it's just
want.
a great way to carry your phone away. So, I, um I had gone to REI to look for I think I was trying to figure out what top I wanted to wear in the marathon. So I ran the Houston Marathon this past weekend,
Mhm.
which we'll talk about it.
Yes.
But I was trying to figure out what top, and I knew I wanted the pocket on the back, like that. But I also like was trying to figure out how I'm going to carry all my nutrition, and I was just in that, and
Mhm.
wound up buying a second John G. So I have two John G. They're
Mm.
kind of I don't want to call them crops. It's a sports bra, it's a little bit longer, but it's like they don't have a seam, so they're just
The
so thin.
I think
Like
I know which one. Does it have like a
the part that is a
semi
little bit
V?
longer.
Does it have like a semi V cut top? Like neckline?
That's a good question.
I think I know which one you're
I should
talking
look at my race videos.
I think I know what one you're talking about.
Uh,
I think I get
okay,
asked
I'm not
all the
sure,
time for it.
but it's just so thin that it's like if you wore it as a sports bra, you'd be fine. If
Oh,
you wanted to wear it as a crop, you could.
mhm.
Like you could kind of do whatever
Either
you
way.
want. But I bought another one of those, which I wound up racing in, and then Brooks has a really nice, sports bra right now with a back pocket that I like, so and like I told you before, I haven't ever found one that besides the one that had the front pocket, don't get
Mhm.
the front pocket. Get the back pocket. I haven't found one that doesn't work. Like, Amazon cheap, super expensive Brooks one, they all have worked great, so,
Yeah. I will. I'm going to invest in it. I just have not
yes,
yet.
they're great.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, I won't buy a sports bra if it doesn't have that in it at this point
Oh,
because
okay.
it's like
Yeah.
yeah,
Why
like
would you? Yeah.
the only reason why I would not need that is if I am at the gym and can put my phone, somewhere else,
Mhm.
but anyway,
Yeah.
okay, let's jump in. What else do we need to talk about? This week while running, we're gonna skip because we're on different pages a little bit with where we're at, and we really need to get
Yeah.
to
The race.
your race.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go back. When we were first talking about it, I mean, you were primed,
Mhm.
like, we had talked about just how your running had, like your mileage had increased and just, like, in such a healthy and smart way, like, you had
Mhm.
made all this progress in your races as well, just kinda, like, building on
Just
each other, and you were just in a really great spot, and you had hoped to maybe go further than 100 miles,
Mhm.
and there was a 150 buckle as well, so I think in the back of your mind somewhere was like, "Okay, that would be cool if it happens."
Mhm.
We'll see, right?
Mhm.
So, take us back to, like, you know, the day or 2 before, like, race prep.
Yeah.
Like, how did that go for you?
It was awesome. Like you said, like, I felt good. I was ready. I was like, no little injuries, nothing was bothering me. I felt really good. Like my gut was good. Like I was ready to go. So those like first 2 days. So I got there the day before. I set up my tent. I did the thing. I had a cabin that I was staying in there. It was at a boat marina resort kind of a place, and so they had little cabins and stuff that you could rent out. So rented a cabin there because I wanted to just be right there so I could wake up and start. Um, had the yeah, so I felt really good. Um, and, uh, and so there was always that, like, thought, like, it would be cool to do 150, and I could have done more than I did. I don't know if we wanna, like, get into this part already, but, like,
Okay,
the
well, let's
okay,
wait
okay,
and, like, get us through the beginning of the
okay,
race, like, you
okay.
get to the race. How was this like, even how was the setup? What were the competition looking
Yeah.
like? Like, how did people put their crew out and all of
Yeah,
that kinda
it
stuff?
was really cool. So it was, like, right at the start finish, they had it, like, flagged off so you could do tents on both sides. People had, like, their canopies. It was cold, so a lot of people had their, like, canopies up, and, like, some people had, like, heaters in there and, like, all they went there were some people that went all out on, like, their setup. It looked like a little house, like a little mini, like, house. Mine was sad. Mine was, like, a plain plain white canopy, white walls, and then it was just me. My husband was coming, at nighttime, so it was just me for
Mhm.
the whole day part of it, and so it was really sad. It was a table in there and a chair. It just
I
like a
think your
ch
setup's cool. Like, literally, my setup is a chair, so
Yeah,
I
mine
think
was like
you're halfway there.
a chair in this corner, a table with, like, a bunch of, like, bins with my stuff on it, and, a bag underneath of extra clothes. That was it. It was really sad, and then, my husband got there and made it look like a little campsite in there, so he's
Oh,
wonderful. He went in there,
he has the magic,
he has the
yes.
magic, so it looked more like the Rocky sort of setup, like, that you saw.
Okay, yes, 'cause
So
that
he
he it looked like a running store, like, you could
Yeah,
go in and there's, like, the shoe section,
yeah.
the nutrition he had, like, the nutrition all, like, laid out just, like,
Uh-huh.
in a store.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
"Oh,
It
like my little
was
running shop."
He when he showed up, he made it, like, magical. He hangs up, like,
Oh.
the solar lights, so it's, like, fun in there, and he has set up, like, a little, the our REI, like, single person tent, like, inside of the canopy so that he sets up the
Wow,
tent in there so that even he could, like, go in, lay down, and take, like, a
take
10-minute
a nap.
nap and it was, so he set that up. Yeah, it's like a little store in there. It's, like, the
Yeah.
table is all, like, organized and stuff. I don't I mean, I usually am really organized and, like, very but not for I guess not for races. I'm just like, "Oh, there's a bin," like, I'll just reach in the bin, like, I don't but he's more,
'Cause I think, like, he just makes it, like, aesthetically
he
pleasing,
makes it
like
yeah, he's got the, like, support crew touch as far as, like,
yeah.
organization goes. So,
And I think that is fair. Like, you are racing, and your head is like, all of your headspace is there,
mhm,
so kind of doing something nice or, like, indulging in, like, the way things look a little bit is not where you're at.
mhm, mhm,
But as a crew, like, you
yeah,
know, you don't have to, but it's y I think the crew can also know, like, the runner does appreciate that. Like,
oh,
it means a lot to the runner. It is helpful to the runner when the crew kinda takes, like, that extra step to make things just pretty and
mhm,
pleasant, like,
yeah.
it's appreciated.
Yeah, it was nice to go back to the tent every time and open it up, and it was just like it just felt good to be in there, like, it was an uplifting atmosphere as opposed to, like, when it was just me by myself. I mean, we'll talk, like, through the beginning laps of the races, like, for how good I felt physically and, like, ready, I struggled, like, during not as far, like, physically, but mentally the first, like, a bunch of hours, even though I felt physically fine and I was making it through. I guess I'll start, like, the beginning. So the first couple like, the race starts, it was at, like, 8 a.m. It was, like, misty and cold and gross, and, I wanna say by, like even by, like, mile 15, so we're talking, like, a couple loops in, I would, like, come back to the tent, it would be so cold, I'd, like, throw on my jacket, I'd, like, eat my things, and I'd be sitting there for, like, 10 minutes in the cold, like, shivering, and I was already thinking to myself, like, "What am I doing?" And we're talking, like, mile
Mhm.
15, like, in the beginning.
Okay, honestly, though, that is an early thought to have,
Mhm.
but, like, I think most people have that before they ever even
They're
sign
even
up, like,
start, right?
"Why would I do that?" You know?
Uh-huh.
So, we're already I mean, I just think that our crazy makes us sign up and get started,
Uh-huh.
and it's fair. Like, you're in really bad weather, you're freezing cold, like, you're
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Not
And
that doesn't feel fun, you know?
yeah.
So
Yeah, and this is the
yeah.
first time, like, when you I've never done the backyard kind of style before, and it gives you a lot of time to, like, contemplate what you're doing, whereas, like, when you're in a run and stuff, you're just running the whole time, and so you don't have the same downtime to be like, "This is, like, why am I doing this? Like, this is like, what am I proving to myself?" I was having those thoughts really early, and I was just in this, like, tent, this, like, bare tent by myself and, like, unesthetically put, like, a chair in a corner, and I'm freezing, and I am, like, literally going through my head, like, Who what am I like, what am I doing? Like, this is not fun. I'm really cold, and like, and so that started early. And so I'm gonna tell it, like, in complete honesty, I would say the race started at 8 a.m. I would say, like, afternoon hours, like, the only thing that kept and I shouldn't say the only thing, a a large part of my thoughts were, "I need to stay in this because my husband is giving up his time to come and meet me that night and then stay overnight with me." We had gotten a dog sitter to come and stay to the house to watch the dogs. There was a big part of me that was just like, "You need to keep going because you planned to keep going." Like, you had set up plans, and your husband is driving 4 hours to come to, like, hang out with you at night and support you and get you and so, like, I got I, like, kinda didn't want I wasn't in it, like, until he got there, and so he got there, it was, like, maybe 8 or 9 at night, so it was dark, like, it was already, like, um, the, like I guess, like, all that hard stuff had gone through. He got there at 9, and it was like a giant pick me up. It was like
Mm.
I, like, overtur I then and then I enjoyed the night hours. A lot of people say that, like, the night hours, they struggle, for backyards. I really liked the nighttime hours during the night.
Well, you had already been struggling, and I just wanted to say, like, those thoughts were early,
Mhm,
but I do think they're really normal.
mhm,
Like, a and, like, at some point, you're grasping at straws, like, "Why am I here?
mhm,
Oh, it's because my husband's coming," or, like I mean, I have finished a race almost crawling
mhm.
because I couldn't bear the thought of going home and telling my kids that I had quit.
Yeah.
You know, it's like at sometimes it's so helpful to kind of look outside of yourself. I mean, I've had races where it's like, "Oh, my friends are all gonna ask me how I did, and I
Mhm.
don't wanna tell them that I sucked it up, like, I wanna
Yeah.
tell them I did good." "Okay." You know, like, weird external motivations can be really helpful, but it's
Yeah.
weird when you're kind of, like I guess you don't want that to be your prime motivation, like, this kind of, like, external
Yeah.
facing thing you wanna tell people or the way that you wanna look, but sometimes it is what gets you back to a good
Through
place.
yeah. Yeah, or through it, and it's like you said, like, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, like, it's kind of a little bit of both, like, you shouldn't rely on that, like, on what you think other people are thinking of you as, like, a gauge, but at the same time, if it's used I guess if you can, like, translate it in your brain to be positive and not make it, like, a negative thing, like, to get you through, I don't know, it's a very weird like you said, like, it's a very weird
Well,
place.
the truth is, like, my friends weren't gonna care.
Mhm.
Like, they were still gonna be my friends,
Mhm.
like, whatever, they probably some of them 'em aren't even runners,
Yeah,
so they don't even know they don't
yeah,
even know what they're asking, or nor do they, know what a good time is.
yeah. Nor are they,
But,
like, judging you as a person based on your run, like, you're still gonna be your same
right,
they're still gonna
like
love you for who
and
you
if
are.
you had called Yeah, and if you had called your husband and been like, "Hey,
Mhm.
you know, don't worry about coming up, I'm coming home,"
Yeah,
like, also fine.
yeah.
So, it's funny because it's like, that's not it's helpful, but it's also really not, like it's made up a
Mhm,
little
yeah,
bit in our
yeah,
minds. It's made up in our minds to help us, though, like, "Oh, I don't want to say this about myself, so here I go, and okay, like, that
Yeah.
could be helpful.
Yeah.
It's just funny.
It was yeah, it was really and then, like I said, like, that I went through that, like, I guess that the mentally challenging part was the beginning half for me. And like I said, like, I felt really great physically, and then so through the night, I really enjoyed the nighttime, so the course was set up it was actually, I would say, slightly over half of it was road. So there was a lot of road
Okay.
section. So I would say, like, 65% of it was road, and then the
Interesting.
rest was trail. And so, it actually, like, the road I ended up switching into road shoes at halfway.
Mm,
So I wore my trail shoes, my, like, tried and true Saucony trail shoes for the first half of it, but then I was finding that, like, my legs were taking a beating on the road sections because the trail shoes
yeah.
aren't as supportive and cushiony and soft, as the road shoes are. And so, I ended up switching about mile 50 to
Okay.
road shoes, which was, like, such a relief, like, you kinda, like, instantly felt it, like, in your knees and your hips, like, everything just felt, like, a little more cushioned and, which was nice too, and that was kind of at about that same time. It was, that he had come, so a little bit so it
Oh,
was kind of
okay.
like all these things, so it's like
Everything.
it was everything, yeah, so right before he got there, I was having, like, a I was down, and so I was like, "Okay, it's dark, we're getting into the nighttime hours." I switched out of my shorts into pants, I put new socks on, I put a new shirt on, I, like, did the things I, like, put new shoes on, and then I went to the start line, and I was like, "I feel like a new person right now," like, just that, like, change of clothes, change of everything, new shoes. It felt good, and then he got there when he was there by the time I got back, and it was just, like, all of this, like, uplifting energy,
Mm,
and then, felt fantastic through the night. I kinda liked the nighttime hours because it's so dark, you can't see anything, so you kind of, like, lose track of time and, like, where you
mhm.
are.
You use some markers too,
Yeah.
so, like, the distance kinda gets obscured, and
It
you're just like, "Well,
does,
I'm just gonna
yeah. And
go
then the
this
and
pace
then the
into the
hours
night."
do, yeah, and then suddenly you're like, "Oh, it's, like, already 3 in the morning," you know, you're just, like, kinda, like, lose time is, like, a very weird, like, time zoney warped place, um, and
Okay,
it
wait,
goes by
I have
pretty
some
fast.
questions before you go on.
Yeah.
What road shoes did you wind up putting on? Do you
My
remember?
Sauconys. My regular
Oh,
old Saucony Triumph, yeah, road shoes. I had the trainers that have the carbon plate in them too, I brought them with me, but I don't know why I didn't pick them, I just picked, like, my normal road shoes. They both are really I don't know why, but I just then stuck with them. In hindsight,
okay.
like, maybe the carbon shoes may have felt really good too and, like, felt like a boost, but you're riding so slow, so I really don't know if, like, that energy translates the same when you're not, like, running quick with the carbon plate.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that I've heard that before where it's like you have to kinda be running at a certain pace
Right.
like yeah.
You're getting too much return for what your body is doing and stress those muscles as well, so
Yeah. So I
you
just
probably
yeah.
made a good choice.
Yeah, so they were just Saucony Tri
Okay, how was, like, the loop feeling, though? Like,
Mhm.
I mean, you'd kind of been in a low,
Mhm.
but, like, just the nature of the race, like, how was that? Was it you're kind of meeting up with the same group of people, like, you're starting these laps all the time, like, how are you feeling about, like I guess maybe, like, during it and at that time, like, what were you like, "I hate this,"
Mhm.
like, "I'm so sick of this format," or was it just kind of a new challenge? Like, where were your thoughts on the
No,
course?
the loop was really cool. I actually didn't get tired of the loop. I really liked it. It was like the first mile and a half are road. It's like an out and back. So you run out like a
Oh, okay.
little over a mile, just over a mile. You run out and then you run it back. So it ends up probably being like a mile and a quarter, or maybe a mile and a half. Then you run back to the start finish. Then you run kind of like through the village and then around to the trail section. And then you run the trail section, and then you hit the road again to come back. And so
Oh, so you kind of get an extra
yeah,
village, it sounds like,
yeah,
right?
because so
Huh,
you
that's
hit
cool.
the start finish, I wanna say at, like, mile and a quarter, mile and a half, and you run through it, and, like, everybody's cheering you on again, so you get, like, a little boost.
Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah,
like gives you a little boost in the middle
yeah,
even.
yeah,
Okay.
it's
Yeah, that's
really
pretty nice.
cool. You can't get any aid or anything, You're not supposed to, when you go through that section, but it's really cool because you get a pick me up, everybody's cheering you on, they're kinda,
Yeah,
so
or just, like, feel like, yeah, there's people out here
mhm.
and
Yep.
energy and yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
and then you hit the trail section, and the trail was really cool. I mean, it was a little muddy in some sections, so you were just, like, finding yourself, like, trying to skirt, like, the very edge or, like, grab onto a tree to sort of help you because the mud would stick to your shoe, and it was like a pancake stuck on the bottom of that thing, and it was like and so there were a couple sections like that, um, on the course, but you could it was it just you just took, like, an extra second or 2 to, like, slow down and sorta navigate around and try to, like, hug a tree and, like, help you to get to the other side and go around it, but, like, worth it to do that because there are some times where you would slip into it and, like, you would have a brick shoe, um,
Yeah, yeah.
so but it was a really nice trail section, you were a lot of it I would say most of it was runnable. There's, one spot, like, toward the end, I would say, like, the last, like, quarter-ish mile of the trail, whatever it is, that you would, like, hike up it because there was a hill, and everybody was just, like, the spot on the trail where everybody stopped. There was, like, a marker, like a bush. Everybody stops, and then they walk up the hill, and then
Yeah, why? Why would you try to run it? Yeah.
no, no, and it really didn't take that much time off, like, and
Yeah.
so you just walk up the hill and then you get to the road section again and you keep running. So, but yeah, I really liked the loop. It was a good, like, mix of both trail and road, and so you would kinda, like, take the beaten from the road or whatever, and you'd be like, "Okay, I'm ready for trail." You'd get to the trail and be like, "Okay, I'm ready for the road section," and then
Yeah, that's true.
it was a good toss-up.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, it was a really good setup. Um, yeah.
Cool. Okay, so now take us back. So now your husband shows up. You
Mhm.
got kind of some new life coming in. You're heading into the night and
Yeah. Heading into the
take
night
us through the night a little bit.
yeah, night was good. Once it got dark, you then quickly started noticing, like, more and more people dropping. Um, but
Okay.
it's, um but not in, like, a bad way, because some people were going in and were like, "Oh, I wanna hit the 50K mark," or like, "Oh, I wanna hit the 100K mark." And then you would notice, like, after you hit the 100K mark mileage-wise, there would be a lot of drops. But it was really good for them because they made their goal, like, that
Well,
was
maybe
exactly.
right.
So it's not necessarily like, not a bad thing necessarily because that was, like, their goal, and that was the longest they've done, and so it was, like, really cool to see that even though but you would get, like you would start hitting those, like, the 50-mile distance, the 100K, whatever, like, during the night, and then you would see people just, like, slowly start,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
dwindling
That makes
down.
sense.
But I did have, like, a little group of, like, there was one guy, that I was following, he was trying to, like, stick it out, and be, like, one of the last few. I think he was, number, like, 4 or 5 left, and then he dropped, but I would kinda stick with him because I really liked his pacing, and he kinda stick with me because I think we had very similar. So I always had him he was either, like, with me and we were chatting a little bit, or he's, like, just up in front of me. We would kinda, like, gauge our speed, like, off of each other, and it was just a really comfortable, consistent, like, pacing. I was coming in the beginning, like, to start, I think I would come in with, like, 10, 11, like, no more than 12 minutes left, of the hour.
Okay.
Um, and then it never it was between like, the entire thing, if you look at the race, it was 8 minutes to 12 minutes. Like, and I was somewhere in
Super
that
consistent, yeah.
even my last lap, I still came in, I had 8 minutes left. Um, and so it was just like and it was I felt very consistent, I felt good, even through the night, I felt really good. And then, I mean, do we wanna get into when it started, like, going sideways?
Well, whole yes. But just before that,
Yeah.
so you can compare this to, like, just running your own pace, right?
Mhm.
Like, normally, the gun goes off and you're off running your own pace
Mhm.
and trying to do your best, right? You're not trying to hold back or, like, have some sort of, like, so how would you compare those things? Like, is there one that you like more? Was it frustrating to kind of maybe go a slower
Mhm.
pace because you were just trying to, like,
Mhm.
save as much as you could for as long as you could, right? So maybe just share some of those feelings.
I really liked it. I so it forces you to go slow. So, like, normally, even when I do, like, my long, slow runs and stuff, I don't run quite as slow as I ran, like, during that. I was running, like, 10 if I went below the 10-minute a 10-minute mile, I would slow down. I didn't wanna go any faster than a 10-minute mile. And generally speaking, like, on my long, slow runs normally, like, I'm running, like, a little bit faster than that. Like, I'm running, like, the 9:30, like, 9:4 like, I'm running faster than that. And so, it felt a little bit weird in the beginning to force yourself to go that slow, but after you did it a couple times, you just like, your body, like, kinda picks up on the consistency of the pace, and so you just, like, are naturally doing it, and it was really nice. It was really pleasant to just kinda, like, cruise along. Like, at no time throughout that entire race from start to finish did I, like was I afraid of timing. I was just like, "I trust my body's just gonna cruise," and, like, it was like every mile is a little bit different if it's, like, road or trail or the last mile where you're walking or hiking a little bit. It's like everything just, like, was, like fell into, like, a very consistent, like, within, like, 30-second time, like, bubble, and your body just starts and it just, like, goes into, like, autopilot and does its thing, and I liked it. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
yeah. I
Um
could see that just being like it's almost, like, meditative,
Yeah,
you're just kind of
yeah,
doing this repetitive thing and
and
kinda
And there's
get
no
into a different
pressure, and
zone
there's
and
yeah, there's, like, no
yeah,
pressure, you're not, like, in a
uh-huh,
race, you're just, like you're kind of riding this, like you're constantly thinking about your pace and whether or not, like, you should
mhm,
speed up here or, like, you need to make time up here because of this, and, like and you're constantly, like, going through, like, it's almost a little bit stressful, you have to, um like, it's very different. For this, like, I didn't even think about pacing. I wasn't even like, after the first couple loops, I wasn't even looking at my watch anymore to see, like, what my pace was because I just knew, like, based on how I felt in
mhm,
the course, like, I had plenty of time to get back. Um, and it was that part of it was very different. I didn't not having to think about pacing, I guess some people might have to, but, like, for me personally, I just, I was comfortable enough with to not even have to worry about getting back on time. And so it was very comforting to just, like, kinda cruise and just, like, do my thing
yeah,
and, like, no worries in the world, not worrying about, like so it was a very different, feeling than a race, than, like, a normal race
okay.
would be.
Yeah, so it's some of that pressure of, like I mean, even when you are trying to take on nutrition or get something out of your pack or, like, you're thinking, like, if you wanna change your shoes.
Mhm.
In this race, you knew exactly, like, "Okay, well, I've got this much
Oh,
time
I
to
got
do
all
any
this
of
time.
that."
Mhm. Yeah.
Right, so, like I mean, and 10 minutes can feel like a lot, especially for you who
Yeah.
doesn't even stop at an aid
Yeah.
station. Like,
Yeah.
it's a decent amount of time, like, you can definitely take care of one of those chores without, you know,
Mhm.
feeling
Yeah.
rushed, whereas a race, you would always have that pressure
You
on you
would
anytime that
always,
you
yeah, even just, like
yeah.
I couldn't even there are so many times during a normal race that I would bring an extra pair of shoes, and, like, for Rocky, for instance, I wore the Nikes. I tried, like, a Nike shoe that I don't normally wear, and so, I mean, I did test runs in it. I wasn't just, like, throwing on a new pair of shoes, but and so I thought I liked them, but then, like, as I got to, after I was, like, in the 2nd loop or just after the 2nd loop, so we're, like, mile 25-ish or something, I was, like, it was rubbing in some places, and I was like, "Ah, I think I'm gonna change my shoes at the end of this lap," and then I would get to the end of the lap, and I'd be like, "No, I'm not wasting time. I don't wanna change my shoes," and then I would just keep going, and I did that, like, a lot. I'm like and then I would get halfway through the loop, and I'd be like, "Dang, I wish I had changed my shoes. These are rubbing like crazy."
Yeah.
But you never I you're so, like, pressed for time that you don't wanna use up time to do, like, maintenance things, and at this race, you had all the time in the world to do maintenance things. Like, I did a full change, full outfit change, shoe change, was still able to get in nutrition and drink and all that, and even had minutes left before went out on the next loop. So, it
I like that.
yeah,
I like that kinda, like, pressure off of that,
yeah.
so then it just turns into kind of like running, right?
Mhm,
Like, you are actually putting yourself in a position to run longer,
mhm.
hopefully, because you're comfortable
Yeah,
and you can, like, take care of little issues along the way without feeling like you have to ignore them or
yeah.
avoid
Or
them.
without
So
sacrificing time, like, in your race time and stuff,
right.
so, so that part was very different, but cool because you could actually, like, take care of yourself, and that's what I would do every lap. I wouldn't carry I mean, I had, like, extra nutrition on me, like, just in case, like, some kind of thing, like, I don't know, felt I don't know, but so I'd always have, like, something on me out there, but I never ate out there. like, it would be when I came back to the tent, I would eat and fuel and hydrate and everything, and I'd go back out, but that part was really nice too, because when you're out there, you're not fumbling for stuff, you're not,
Exactly.
yep, you're
It's
not
not taking any advantage.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so
Okay. Take us into where things started to turn a
things
little
started
bit.
to turn a little bit. So I will say my gut, stomach, fantastic through the whole race. Not a single stomach issue. And again, I was like I've said it before, on my Go Macro bars
Okay.
and the like swaffle things that I eat, and I ate them. I actually had some goldfish and stuff too. I had like goldfish that I snacked on a little bit and rice crackers. And, 'cause those were, like, salty, so I was like, "Oh, maybe I want a little bit of something that's, like, more savory, cheesy, like, salty." So I did the goldfish and the rice crackers for that, and then I had my macro bars and the swaffle things for, like, sweet, and my stomach was like, oh, it was so nice, it was perfect, and, so
Yeah,
that
that's
was
awesome.
really good, but so starting, I don't know, maybe, like, mile 80-ish, so I will like, start this off, the pre, with this is after I had changed into my pants. That's important for this part of the story, which is you would
Yeah.
not think, but, so was in the midnight, had my pants on, mile, like, 80-ish. I'm starting to get this pain in my ankle bone. So, like, the knobby part of your ankle bone on the outside that sticks out, like that, like, knobby
Yeah.
bump. I'm starting to get, like, pain in there, like but, like, mild, really dull, and so at, like, mile 80, and so I was like, "Oh, that's, like it's not a big deal, it's just, like, this, like, mild, like, annoyance." And so I'm going through, and so it just, like, it just slowly is getting, like, more noticeable, more noticeable, more noticeable. Now, like, start me at, mile, like, 90 or 93-ish. I'm out there running, and all of a sudden, it is, like, sharp pain shooting through my ankle, shooting, like, through that bone. Like, every time I step, every time I move, it is, like, this sharp pain that's going through, and so I in my brain, I thought I was going w way like, I was worried that's, like, the first time that I, like, kinda worried about timing, so I was I feel like I'm going slower. I wasn't really, but I felt like I was because of this pain. I was just, like, constantly thinking about this pain that was in my ankle, and, so I got back, I still had, like, my 8 minutes, right? And so but I was, like,
Okay.
hobbling back. Like, I'm talking, like so there's, like, this slight hill before you get to the start finish. It's like a little baby
Yeah.
hill, and so most people kinda walk up it anyway because 'cause you're already at the start finish. You're not wasting your energy there. And so I'm like, every step I'm taking is really painful, like, really painful, and so I'm like, "What?" Like, it was, like, all of a sudden, and so I was like, I think I, like, really hurt myself." Like, I don't know, but this is, like, such shooting sharp pain that it's gotta be an injury, and we're at, like, mile 93, and so my thought process so before I even went into this race, I was telling myself that, like, I would run as far as I can, but I'm not going to run to the point where I injure myself so badly that I'm out of commission for 3 months or 2 months. Like, I'm not going to that point. Like, I that my health and, like, my ability to, like, run again, when I want to after this race is very important to me. I've done injuries. Like, I don't want to put myself in a position where now I'm recovering for months after this thing.
Okay.
So
Fair.
yeah.
Which people doing this stuff all the
Oh,
time.
they
Like, they go
do.
straight
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
hospital, and they're on, like, IV.
Yeah. And there were people that were
So that
coming
is a
in.
decision to be made.
Yeah, there were people that were
Make that decision for sure.
oh, absolutely, and so I made that decision even before I went to this race. I was like, I'll push myself really hard through, like, stuff, but if I'm to the point where, like, I think I've, like, I don't know, like, sprained something or broken something, I don't need to go beyond that. That's it for me. Like, that's just and so that was where my thought process was. So I'm, like, hobbling to the finish line at mile 93, and the way this course is set up is that it's a 4.5 mile loop, so I would have to do 3 more laps after that to pass 100 miles. And then so, like, at that point where I, like, hurt my ankle, I almost, like I was to the point where I could barely walk coming across the finish line. So my husband's there, and I'm like, I can barely walk, like, my ankle hurts so much. And so I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do at that point, my brain shifted to like, "Okay, at least get to the 100-mile mark," right? Like, so it was just me and one other guy left at that point. It was just the last 2 standing, and I was like, "It's like, I guess my goal now is 100 miles, but I don't think I can run for like a w 10 would be 11 miles on this thing because when you end your no, 10 more, because you end at 103.5 because that's how
Uh-huh.
the laps work.
You almost had to run that
So
extra
you
lap to
have to
get
run a
to 100,
full,
right.
like, almost 4 miles
Okay.
past to get your past the 100. So I had 3 laps left, and I was like, "If I had 1, I could maybe get through this," but I was like, "I don't know if I can, like, is it worth it to do those 3 to get the 100?" So I was
And still yeah, and still end
and
and
and still end, like,
be last
walking.
woman standing. Right.
Right, and so, like, I got very frustrated because I wanted that 100. So my husband was like, "Before you call it," so I'm, like, standing at the finish line, he's like, "Before you call it, let's go back to the tent. Like, let's, like, look at it, we'll figure it out, like, see if there's something we can do to make it feel better." And so, like, hobbled back to the tent, um, I was like, "Okay, I need to, like, look at it because if it's, like, giant and, like, I'm that's gonna be a big factor." And so I put my leg up on the chair to look at it, and I pulled my so I had my leggings on and then my, like, high crew socks over the legging. And so I pulled my sock down and I went to pull my tight up over my ankles because it was below like, on my ankle, and I
Mhm.
realized that the seam, this, like, big thick seam of my pants is sitting on my ankle bone on that piece and is then being compressed by the sock, and the second I lifted my pants up, the pain shot through my thing again. It was like, the most bizarre happenings of events. My legging was apparently pinching the nerve inside of on my ankle bone because of where that seam was sitting, and the sock was compressing, and it was just rubbing this nerve over and over, which was starting dull pain, and I actually, like, bruised and, like, did damage to the nerve, which all of a sudden is causing, like, this shooting dart pain, all because of my pant leg. Like
Well, that's Megan, when we were talking earlier about the importance of gear, like, when you and I did, Palo Duro,
uh-huh,
I had on a belt,
uh-huh,
and I finished that race. I think at some point I took the belt off because that's where I was keeping my nutrition,
mhm.
and later in the day, I was, like, bruised, like, in my guts,
Ugh,
and I was like, "Oh my gosh,"
yeah,
like, I must have tied my pants too tight, like, what? Like, I was so sore and, like, hurt just on my tummy, and then I realized I had these apple sauces in my belt, and the lids had pressed
ugh,
into my gut, and, like, when just normally when I put the belt on and off, it's not
mm,
ridiculously tight, like,
yeah,
I can it's fine, but it's like that the
something.
moving and the mileage and the time, like,
And the
I think
rubbing
what
and
you
the
learned was so valuable because it's these tiny little things you would
no,
never think of.
no,
Even in a long training race, you're not gonna hit that.
mm-mm,
You're at mile 90.
uh-huh,
When are you at mile 90 in
no,
a pair of leggings?
no,
Not a lot,
no, and I don't wear leggings, I wear shorts. I've never done a race in leggings before. I've
Yep.
and so it was literally so when I pulled my leg up and it sent the same pain through my ankle bone that was happening when I was stepping, I was like, and I like, "Oh, that didn't feel good." And my husband was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Wait a second, like, I just recreated the pain by moving my pant leg, like, over it." And so that's when I realized what it was, because then I would, like, touch that spot, and it was tender. It was like I had
Sure.
bruised the bone, everything there was so tender to touch, but it was just upon touching, like, because then I moved my pant leg off, I, like, hiked them up higher, put on my shoe again, whatever, and did, like hopped out of the tent and did, like, some little, like, test strides, like the runner, like, "How bad is this injured?" And I was, like, doing this little things and nothing, 0 pain. But
That's so
but
crazy.
I think, this, like, mental shift during that time period where I became, like, frightened that I was injuring myself, where I just kind of, like, changed my mind to be like, "Just hit the 100-mile mark." I just, like, had this. this, like, mental shift in what my goals were and what my expectations were, and then so then when I started again, so I was like, "Okay, like, let me try another loop. Let's just see if, like, if this is still painful," and I did the next loop, and it was fine. It was like
Gosh.
nothing had happened, right? And so, like, I finished, and then I was like,
Mhm.
"Okay," and I was just so stuck in my brain on, like, the get to 100 miles. So I finished at
Mm.
103, and it's like I still had run in me. I came in with, like, 8 minutes, and but I think I was just I w the happenings of
You'd made up your
I made up
mind
my mind,
to
and I was just like,
okay.
I don't need to do this anymore, and, William Kent, the guy who won it, who was the last man, he was still looking fresh. He was running, like, and coming in at, like, 40 minutes left still. Like, he was
Oh, goodness. Wow.
crushing fast miles, and apparently
You must have been taking some naps
he was
because, like, you
taking
had time for
naps,
naps
he
if
was
you had
coming
20
in with, like,
minutes.
20 minutes left. His, like, last loop, he was flying at, like, 7-minute miles. Like, he was so,
Oh my
like,
gosh, yeah.
he probably would have just, like, kept going through, and I didn't need I had that same thought process, like, kinda going, like, "I don't need to prove I don't know anything. I don't want to now injure myself." Now I was just stuck on this, like, don't
Yeah,
injure yourself," because I thought I did, and which is what I didn't want to do, and, so I was like, "You know what? I got my 100, like, I'm gonna call it here," and,
good.
everybody's like, "Well, you still got some run in you left," and I'm like, I was like, "I'm good." I'm like, "I'm
Yeah.
very confident, and I'm, like, okay with this decision," and even afterward, I was too, because I had thought that
You
maybe
so looking back, you
even
still feel
looking
like,
back,
"Yep, I" okay.
yeah, I'm totally okay with it, and, like and but now so, like, immediately after I didn't have this thought, I just had this newer sort of thought within the past, like, week or 2 where it's like, I'm not completely sure that that is, like, my racing favorite, like, my style. Like, it was fun, it was really enjoyable, I'm glad I did one. I'm not sure I would do one again, like, n now, maybe I'll have the urge at some point in time, but I if I'm gonna do, like, 150 miles or, like, 200 and really put myself through the ringer and, like, maybe, like, get some little whatever, I want it to be in, like, a really grand, like, a cool race, like, on a mount not just running, like, 3 like,
Oh my gosh, Megan, I
not
have been through this
not just, like,
because I have done
running
Rocky
little
so many
loops.
times.
Yeah,
Yo, I have done Rocky so many times that
yeah.
I'm like, "No, I have done that loop.
Mhm.
I have redone that loop. I want to run I want to"
Yeah,
and that's when I went to
yeah,
Zion National Park. I'm like,
yeah,
"I want to be somewhere
yeah,
beautiful."
yeah,
And that's how I feel about the Ironman as
yeah,
well, because I did the Ironman here locally, and the bike is like 112 miles down the toll road.
yeah.
It was ugly. I was, like, passing warehouse. I'm like,
Mhm,
"Okay, next I wanna be in Hawaii. I
mhm.
wanna be" like,
Yeah,
you want also the reward of, like, those miles giving back to
mhm,
you in, like, views or,
yeah,
like, some sort of, like, progress or,
mhm.
something rather than just, like,
Then this little road, like, this little 3.5 I mean, like, like I said, it's a great loop, it's a great race, they set it up, like,
yeah.
everybody is wonderful, but I just, like, if I'm gonna die on the hill, if I'm gonna run until the wheels fall off, like, I want it to be somewhere like, I wanna be it to be in some, like, really cool place and, like, in a race that's, like, some scenery and some things and said just
That gives back.
yeah, yeah, and that gives back to you, and that, like, if I'm gonna give
Two
myself if I'm gonna give
Going
myself to
in
this,
250 miles
I want
between, like,
yeah.
2 cities,
Mhm.
like, that's
Yep.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah, so I like I said, I really loved the race, it was great, it was a really cool experience, I just don't think I'm the kind of person that would, like, run myself to death on a small loop of some kind. I don't
And
know
what
yeah,
on a treadmill.
yeah, so it, like so I learned that about myself because I thought I was like, "Oh, I'm, like, I usually just keep, like, going and going and going and going, and it's like I got to the point where I was just like, "I don't want to anymore." Like, I don't And it's like it's was such a different feeling than in other races, like other 100 milers, because you get tired at the end, but I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna finish this." Like, there's no way I'm DNFing this, like, although my body's tired and, like, I'm physically exhausted and stuff, you're still, like, in just the race is still giving to you, like, when you're running, even though you're so tired, like, you s
Well, but there's also a
and there's a
finish. Like,
finish.
this race
Yeah.
like, you get to make it
Yeah,
up. Like,
yeah.
you get to make up your
And I
finish.
did, and I did.
So,
I my
what does
mind
that mean,
created the 100-mile mark. My mind created the
Mhm.
100-mile mark as the finish. Like, once I thought that I wasn't gonna get there at mile 90 or 90, but I literally thought I wasn't gonna be able to get it, and then once I realized that, like, I could run again with, like, and I was like, "Oh, like, that's my finish line, like, 100 miles, just get to
Yeah,
100 miles," and I
good.
created it, and then once I got there, like, the I couldn't shift my mind to be like, "Okay, now keep going." Like, that wasn't I couldn't do that in my brain because I had already flipped the switch, and, uh, and so I just called it there, but yeah, like I said, I think, like, m mountain, like, adventure races, big courses and stuff are more of my thing, so
Well, okay, one other takeaway I was thinking from this, and this is me having had your feelings,
Mhm,
gone to Zion, because now I want this view, and
mhm.
this is gonna be a beautiful race, and DNFing at
Oh,
Zion, which is what I did. And so I think some of the mentality and what's helped me or what I learned from that experience was the mindset just you have to stay so
mhm,
flexible, right? Like, if you get this finish line in your head, or if you get, like, this problem in your head that you kind of just grab onto and it doesn't let you continue in some way, like, that's gonna be a
yeah,
hang up. And what I learned from DNFing was my mindset simply needs to be problem solve.
mhm,
What's the problem? What can I do to solve it? Is there a solution? And then what does it look like afterward? Because if you get stuck on some little fix or some little, you know, I don't know, mental
yeah,
finish line, that could
yeah.
in your
Could
case
end
where
your
you
race.
could have kept
Yeah, could
going,
it ended my
you know?
race, yeah. You're exactly right. I got
When it didn't
yeah,
need to necessarily,
mhm,
which I mean, you made up your mind for other
mhm,
reasons, which is,
mhm,
like, kind of something else, but, like, physically, that didn't have to be your
no,
finish, but it became that because you had grabbed onto that
mhm,
thought or,
yep,
like, made that early decision rather than, like, "Okay, what's wrong with me? Like, what can we do about it?" And keep the mind just still
open,
open,
yeah,
like, "I'm still open, I have no fixed thoughts about what's going
yeah.
on," which is super hard to
It's
do.
really
Like, when
hard.
you have a
Yeah,
pain like that,
yeah,
it's
it's
real,
really
like, you're not
hard.
making it up,
Yeah.
so to kind of stay above it, I think is a
It's
real
really hard.
opportunity.
It's really
Yeah,
hard
it's a
because
skill.
my brain closed, like, I didn't keep it open. I didn't have, like, I had the problem solving, like, mindset for a second, like, a very small second with the ankle thing, but I still let the overwhelming fear of getting a real injury because I faced it, and I was like, "This is what I told myself I wasn't gonna do." And I did it, and then so I was like I was harping on this, like, "Don't get injured, don't get injured." Also knowing that we had this move coming up, like I had so many big things in my life after this race that were happening, and I just didn't want to put myself in the injury. So I was like, I was so focused on that, on like, and then that like mental. I once that happened, I was just like 100 miles, and when I get it, and then it was my finish line. I came in and I was like, I'm done. And so,
You make another good point, Meg, that what else is going on in your life, actually it's a really
you know,
big deal, and it's gonna and, so that like, I learned that in Houston Marathon this weekend as well, like, I just felt like this race was this massive mental move for me,
mhm,
and at the same time, like, I have had a lot of, like, mentally taxing things in my personal life leading up to this. So, on race day, was I at, like, my best mental like,
mhm,
did I start the race in my best mental position? Maybe not.
mhm,
Like, the things I had to battle on the course, like, maybe I don't always have to battle those. But one of the cool things is that I feel like moving on from that experience is, like, but now I do like, that pain cave I carved out more.
mhm.
Like, the mental places I had to go to get through that race or, like, to do what I had to do created more space so that I can be stronger in the next race as well, which I think is pretty like, that's
Yeah,
exciting to
no,
me,
that's really cool. That's how did you do that? Just like a little teaser, like, how did you do it?
Oh, well, um,
What was
it's a very long
what was
conversation,
your time?
Megan. We'll have to talk
What
again.
was your time?
No teasers. I don't even have a
Okay,
time.
okay.
I have several times that I wanna, like, I need to
Okay,
talk
okay,
through.
okay. We'll wait.
I am happy with the race.
We
I'm
will
happy
have an
with the race
episode though
though,
where we
so
talk all about your race.
yes.
But yes, so
Um,
it's that I really liked that what you just said about that mental like being a problem solving. If you can remember that and stick to that when like you face things
it's like have nothing else,
and
right?
nothing and then I feel like that could do wonders in a race for you and not let yourself like then like shift to other things that could, like you said, like hinder your race or cause you to DNF or like if you're so hyper fixed because I became so hyper fixated on that and like I said, like I don't know what would have happened if I kept going. I mean, like or how long I would have went for. Um, but I mean, but I'm totally okay with the outcome. I ran really well. I like everything in that race lined up. Um, like my fueling, my pacing, like everything was just like such a good feeling, and it was really cool to like to know that I could do that. And I was just yeah, and so I was okay with it. Mm,
Yeah.
so
I mean, 100%. I think it's just okay, you always want to reflect and, like, see what
mhm,
you learned and whatever you can take with you to, like, do it again
mhm,
or maybe do it a little bit better or,
mhm.
like, have another strategy going into the next
Yep.
one, I think is some of the
Yeah.
fun as well, which sounds like you did that as well,
Uh-huh.
so
Yeah.
whew. Oh my goodness. Well, I have been dying to hear your story because I got the pictures that you got to post and stuff were so cool, like
Oh
out
god.
running in the dark. And when it was just you and the
And
other runner, I
William
was like, oh my god, I
So,
see that.
they had
Yeah.
a really, really great, like, media team out there, I think they're called Reroute Media, so shout out to Reroute Media. They were so much fun. They had, like, drones up there, they had, like, videographers that were, like, cheering you on, like, I don't think I've ever run in a race where the media crew is, like, so interactive with you, and there was, like, a point
Mhm.
where it was me and William, I think, and so, like, one of them, like, caught up to me, was, like, running next to me and, like, kinda like, "How do you feel?" Like, "How you doing?" Like, I've never had that before, that was really cool, they were a really good group of, really good group, and they took some great pictures and some great footage, and, yeah,
It's so
they
fun.
were super interactive, they were cool, but, yeah, they took some cool photos, so I got those under my belt now.
That's cool. Yeah, fun those cool
Yeah.
photos. I'm still looking for the same photo of myself. I'm always like, eh.
I know. Right,
Great.
so
So, like, just to kind of wrap quickly, but
Mhm.
also, like, hit on a few
Yeah.
things. You finish. Great, great,
Mhm.
great. Get totally sick.
Mhm. Yeah.
You're moving. All the chaos, so bring us to
Yeah,
now.
it's just like the funniest part about the whole thing is that, like, I didn't wanna get injured so that I could keep running, and then, like, 2 days, not even 48 hours after my race finishes, I get awfully sick, just, like, really gross sick. I can't breathe, I'm, like, hacking up, like, clots out of my lungs, like, gross for 3 weeks, like, close to 3 weeks.
Gosh, that's too long.
I couldn't do anything, like, I even tried to, like, lift in my gym, and anytime my heart rate would get, like, over 100, I'd start having a coughing fit because my like,
Ugh.
it was, like, that was, like, put me out of commission for 3 weeks. And then we found out then we're putting up to, like, Christmas time, we find out we're moving officially find out we're moving. We had known it was a possibility before the race, like, Thanksgiving time. And so we found out officially it was, like, a sure thing, like, as I'm, like, at the end of the sickness. And then so now it's, like, rushing to get our house on the market. And so we did that, like, we took photos. So we had a like, side story, I'll do really quick, like, we had Christmas decorations everywhere, lights outside, everything for Christmas, and she's coming over to take the pictures for the site, for the listing on Christmas Eve, so I have to undecorate. I
Aw.
had to pack up all
I was like, yeah, because you don't want any of that up for
Mhm.
your
Nope, you
oh
want the
my
house as
gosh,
empty as possible, you don't
gross.
want the Christmas stuff out, so I packed up everything on
Ugh.
Christmas Eve.
Oh my goodness. Yuck.
But anyway, so yes, then
That's
we're going through
that's
all of
not
that.
very nice.
Yeah, we put our house on the market, and within, like, 36 hours, we have offer like 3 offer it would just went and then it's just like a spiral from there, so, needless to say, I haven't been I got a couple runs in, like, last week or the week before that, and they just felt awful, but it is what it is, it's just, like, I've I've come to the point, like, the realization that it's just, like, this is just, like, a season in my life where there's just, like, so much going. Like, I just finished a really awesome race, like, a month like, 5 weeks ago. In my brain, it feels like it's so much longer, but in reality, like, I finished a really long race, like, I this time period of life where I'm not running and, like, I'm not doing it, like, it's okay. Like, that's kind of like the fact.
I think, Megan, this is just a
Yeah.
huge, like it's your off
Yeah.
season. You're having an off
Yep.
season. You're still being very active, by the way,
Mhm.
like, just
Manically
everything you're going
manically
through.
running
Like,
around.
it's not like you're laying on the couch eating ice cream.
Uh,
Like, you've got a lot going on. And I think, you're gonna get to your new place, and that's like, you're gonna find where the trails are. You're gonna find the community. You're gonna find what races are exciting to you. And, like, it's all gonna come back when it should. And I just think it's kinda cool, like, these like, off season and I used to, like, count my pregnancies
mhm.
as, like, off
Oh,
season, so I'm
okay.
like, "I can't do anything," and, like, you know what? It's a massive like, my body is still working really hard, but it's, like, this great reset for
Mhm.
running where I just give it a
Yeah.
break, and then, it's actually really impressive the motivation and, like, the energy and drive you're gonna feel
When
when
to
you come
pick
back
up.
because it's
Yeah.
there. It's just you're just kind of in this,
Like, yeah.
you know,
Very,
off season,
very
which
chaotic life happenings, trying to buy and sell and do all the house things that we have to do and all of that
yeah.
stuff, and then worry about, new job stuff, and so it's just like so it's a lot, and in the beginning, I was not in such a great mindset about it, like, I struggled for like, when I was sick, all I wanted to do is get back to running, and I was, like, frustrated and so mad that I couldn't run, and then once I got better and we found out about the house stuff, then my brain shifted, and then it was like I was a little bit down on myself, I'm like, "But you can make time to run," like, there's, like you just gotta make the time and, like, be hard, like, if you really want to, you can find the time to, and it's just, like and I was hard on myself, and then I've finally, like, in this past, like, week or 2, just gotten to the point where it's like, it's okay, like, there's nothing on my race calendar right now, I just go with the flow, let it happen, like, when
Yeah,
I feel like if even if I wanna make time, if it's just like I'll do it, I'm just gonna, like, be very patient with it, and that's a very,
yeah,
um adult mature mindset for me because I'm usually, like, very hard on myself, and I'm like, there's always, like, a training plan, even if it's just, like, a base training plan, like, in my calendar, and it's like,
mhm,
I have the runs that I'm gonna do, even if it's just, like, not for a race, and I haven't had anything, like, I don't even have, like, a running plan, like, nothing, and, um and so I think that it's hard to, like, do seasons like this, like, off seasons, but I think that it's gonna pay off for me, like, in I really think it is, like, once we get out there and I start running again, I think, it's gonna be like a reset button, and I'm just gonna,
yeah.
and I'm
And I will promise you,
yeah.
Megan, it is. Like, I have done this so many
Mhm,
times through pregnancies, through even injuries, like this summer when I
uh-huh,
couldn't run and I swam for 3 months, like, I think, like, just being active, it gives you a lot more than you even realize, like,
mhm.
packing up a
Yeah,
house and, like,
yeah,
organizing all of your stuff, like, you are
yeah,
moving and using your body a lot more than you even realize, and it is, like you'll surprise
yeah,
yourself, like, it's all in
yeah,
there, and as soon as you, like, tap on it, it just comes back, and you are healthy, and you have more mental space, like, it's just, like and some of it is because you didn't push yourself to a low
mhm,
when things were
yeah.
stressful, like, if you kept trying push, 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 like, you'd get to the end of all this and be like, "Well,
That's actually really
I don't even feel like doing this
yeah,
anymore."
that's
Yeah,
really smart.
so
I didn't even think
I
about it.
promise
I didn't
you,
even think about
it's in
that, yeah,
there.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that's where we are now.
It's gonna be good, it's gonna be good. Well, thank you so much for sharing your race. That was super and tons of things to think about and
Yeah,
learn, and just for people interested in this style of racing, like, it's so good just
mhm,
to kind of go through somebody else's
yeah,
experience, so you can 'cause I mean, it's until you've done one, it's super unknown. Like, I've never done anything like this, so I think what you shared is super helpful
Yeah.
and, can help other people as well.
And it's
So
definitely worth a try, like, if for, like, ultra runners, 'cause it's a very different feeling, and it like you said, like, I found out that it might not be, like, my favorite way to run, but
Mhm.
because it is different, so, like, if you haven't tried it, like, I'd really, like, suggest, like, trying it because it's very different feeling than a normal race, so, yeah, like, it might be, like, somebody's thing, like, if they didn't think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. Okay, we'll go ahead and wrap so we can
Yeah.
get back to our busy lives. But, I don't even have I guess my inspiration that I could share, one, I love everything that we talked about that I think I'm gonna make a little, digital sticker that says "problem solve."
I'm so
Like, I just think that should always be,
Mhm.
like it should be in your mantra packet, like, that has got to be
Yep.
like, stick it somewhere because 'cause you're gonna need to see that at some point. But, just maybe this could be the Houston Marathon teaser. I've just kind of been diving into the race results and,
Mhm.
like, other people's videos and things like that, and I saw this young guy. I mean, dude, the last 8 miles of a marathon is just, like, carnage. Like, you'll literally see somebody running out in front of you, and they'll just stop. They're
Yeah.
done.
Oh
Like,
my god.
the race ends at mile 22 for a lot of people, and I was watching this video of this guy. I mean, he was cramping, his muscles gave out, and he in the video, he just falls to the ground, and 2 guys come by and pick him up, and he kind of, like, falls again, and they pick him up again and put him on their shoulders and kind of all jog to the finish line, and I just think I love running, like, I love that, I love the sport, I love just the people who help other people, like, learn and grow. You sharing your story helps somebody else, and, there's just, like, so much good inspiration coming out of the running scene right
Mhm.
now, so
Absolutely.
keep it up, everybody.
Absolutely. Yep.
Absolutely. Alright, well, thanks, Megan.
Thank you.